Good
India, and
evening.
good morning to you.
Welcome to this February monthly lecture of Partha Ghosh Academy of Leadership at IIT Kharagpur. So before going to for the main session, let me invite Professor Manav Kumar Das, Chairman of Partha Ghosh Academy of Leadership at IIT Kharagpur, and also the Professor of Mechanical Engineering, to give his welcome address.
Thank you, Dr. Anupam Khan. Welcome all of you to this monthly lecture series at Partha Ghosh Academy of Leadership. I met Saify Saraiya ji a month ago in Kharagpur. We are in a mission called biophilic. That means bio means nature sort of a thing, and philic is liking. So towards going towards the nature or liking nature, and in our Rajaghat Research Complex, we have a biophilic studio for recording various interviews kind of thing. So I was on a visit to our Rajaghat Research Park, Newtown. There I met Saify ji, and while talking to Saify ji, I found very new kind of things about the mission towards life, his definition towards life's mission, and found out that he's sort of delivering lectures on leadership. So immediately I requested Saify ji to deliver a lecture at our monthly series of this PGAL, and I'm thankful that he readily accepted the offer. So today, Saify ji will be talking about the leadership, life's lessons. He has experience of nearly 30 years on this, and he gives kind of various workshops, different parts of the country and outside the country also. So I hope that today's lecture will be a very interesting one. And in this today we are in the age of tech savvy kind of things. So when this technology is driving our day-to-day activities, Saify ji will take us to a different side kind of things, and we will talk about the life's missions, or how to handle different kind of troubles which the young generation is encountering almost day to day, especially the students. So with these few words, let me hand over to Dr. Khan for the next items.
Thank you, sir. So I would request Sri Partha Ghosh, the permanent member in the Board of Advisors of Partha Ghosh Academy of Leadership. So, but I cannot see him. Is he joined?
He's there. He's there. He's in the second screen.
Okay. So to say a few words about this academy and also his thoughts on this leadership.
We can't hear you, Partha.
Unmute, sir. Partha, unmute.
No, it is unmuted, looks like, but some problem at your end, Partha. Maybe your microphone, it is unmuted, but we can't hear you. Nope, still not working.
Can't hear you, sir. No, sir. No. Can't hear you.
Maybe, Partha, you probably need to drop out and then rejoin. Please try that. Hopefully that works.
So it is not audible.
Just
Should
move
we?
ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So I would like to tell Professor Prajit Nandi to say a few words about Mr. Saraiya, introduce him so that we can start the session.
Yeah, welcome, Mr. Saify Saraiya, once again, and greetings to all of you who are spread all over the world. So good evening for some, and good morning, good afternoon for a few others. So quick few words about Mr. Saraiya. He's a life coach and is the author of a famous book by the name Zero Medicine Wisdom, which was written based on some groundbreaking discovery of a PhD discoveries done by a PhD doctor, an MD and PhD doctor. And this discovery helped countless people to recover from various diseases such as diabetes, arthritis, asthma, and even cancer. So inspired by many such recovery of various illnesses, Mr. Saraiya began spreading his wisdom as a mission, and he has facilitated numerous behavioral science interventions and is the founder of the internationally acclaimed Young Leader course, which has empowered students across India, Southeast Asia, and Middle East. This actually aligns very well with our academy's vision, and he will talk about his journey. He started in the IT industry and then worked in various other sectors, and finally, found his place in transformational training. And in this lecture, Mr. Saraiya will inspire us to unlock our full potential and hopefully help us lead a healthier and more balanced life. So over to you, Mr. Saraiya. Welcome once again.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Das, for spontaneously choosing me for today's wonderful occasion. And let me begin. So before I share my life journey and lesson on how we can unlock our full potential to lead a more balanced life, let me ask all of us to look back and at your own life and script your own life. You will find that your own twists and turns during your life, how it is directly connected with what we are today. So it is very important that each one of us practice this scripting our life story. All right. So this is my request to begin with. Now coming back to reflecting my own journey, I too had series of turns and twists. That's what makes me today. Family business, partnership with friends, IT business, franchise network, designing and building residential flats, and finally, why I'm here today, the calling in HR training. So let's start at the very beginning, right from our early childhood, the schools. I was born as the 8th child in family of 2 sisters and 7 brothers. We are 7 brothers, entire cricket team. Childhood memories are full of despair, but we lived in crowded Chandni Chowk Street in Calcutta, where it was common for people to sleep on the footpath. The sight made me feel sad. We lived in a 2-room cramped house, and knowing the size of the family, we had frequent quarrels and constant unrest. And it wasn't just at home I felt hardship. I also had to deal with violent beatings in schools from teachers. Those days, things were different, not like today. And because of that, we were always constantly in fear and helplessness, which led me to, regularly bunk classes. And many of us, we used to do that. And guess what? We will wander on the streets of Calcutta. My friends and I even contemplated to commit suicide. How 3 of us went to buy thick 20 a rat poison, and so on, to escape these daily sufferings. I ran away from home a few times, only to return by evening. This situation was common for many families in Kolkata then. One such day, when I was very upset and determined to give up life by jumping in front of a train, I could have been in class 6 or 7. At that moment, I had a shift in my thought. Why, instead of instantly dying, why not I wither away my continuation with life wherever it takes me? Jumping from the train, I would immediately go off. I can simply give up on my life and go around in probably ask for food in a hotel and work for them freely. That kind of mindset was there. On which platform I'll sleep, all that planning was there. But that was only a child imagination. It never happened because the shift in that thought changed all that. But yet the suffering continued. One day, as usual, I ran away from home yet again. And there something changed in me. I kept walking away from home in the Maidans of Kolkata, determined never to return. And something caught my attention while I was roaming around in the Maidans. And that was flowers. I was getting so enthusiastic about picking those lovely flowers. I kept plucking them and gathered them in my kerchief. And why I was doing that? I was inspired by the lesson on the fascinating different petals and sepals taught to me by my favorite botany tuition teacher, and she was my sister's friend too. In that moment, a sense of wonder, yeah. The screen is not coming. Can you check that for my daughter?
We are able to view you as well as, yes.
The highlights are not coming, no? All right, as long as you are hearing it clearly, we'll continue. All right, so guess what? This plucking of flowers and gathering in my kerchief, fascinated by the sepals and the petals taught to me by that botany teacher, that made me get things getting interested, She used to teach me on flowers very passionately. And suddenly my mind changed and I wanted to show her those flowers and I decided to return home. Now, there is a learning till today for me in this, which I will share in a while. When I returned, naturally I returned back to the gate of my house, and there I saw my anxious father waiting in the end. I was whole day away, and it was almost in the evening. I saw him waiting at the gate anxiously. I was tense that I'll be punished. But to my big relief, he just held my hand and said in Gujarati, "Are maro crore rupio avi gyo." My crore worth son has come back. And this statement by him, he didn't do anything. He just affectionately took me in. And this statement till today has a lasting strength in me. So coming to the schooling, school was never easy for me. I faced problems with teachers, changed school 3 times. And when I joined a new school in class 9, this time I carried myself impeccably. Then suddenly things changed. I got recognized as a class genius. Schoolmates liked me. Principal encouraged me. Yet something happened that led me to leave that school also without completing class 10. Now I joined a new school. Things here too were unbearable. Within a year, I walked out of class 11, went straight to the railway station and booked the train ticket to Madras, then now Chennai. That was 1982. Why I booked the ticket to Madras was my two elder brothers were already shifted in Madras as an expansion of business. And they were running a company called South India Bearing Company. What attracted me to come to Madras was I used to see advertisement in Statesman of Calcutta that AMIE course offered in Chennai. And that AMI engineering course was offered in 3 years. I thought I will join that course. But after reaching that, didn't work out. I was discouraged by the colleges itself that why you want to take a difficult course. I ended up continuing to visit factories for our family firm. We were selling bearings, ball bearings. While I was with my family business in our office, a person visited our shop. He spoke how easy the passive income as a life insurance agent is. This got my attention, and I signed up as an LIC agent. I ended up signing up many policies, only to realize that the terms were fraudulent against policy holders. In fact, I remember one Sardarji editor, I forgot his name, Kushwant Singh. He wrote 4-page article on LIC as a public sector fraud. That also I read, and I felt I am in a wrong place, and I quit LIC. And also one more thing happened. One of my policy holder accidentally died. I quit LIC. Now my work, career, and life. I continue to focus on family business, but while I was doing that, I decided to join business management course. Here I met some lovely friends. Some of them are attending today's session. My cheerful life began. And we together decided to start South India Book Emporium, a textbook selling company and stationery company. We made it a success. And this friendship further grew into we starting a Xerox and DTP shop. And in the same shop, those days I thought I will start supplying computer peripherals. This is 1987. That too became a success. And of course, Sam Pitroda and Rajiv Gandhi were promoting computers with a lot of subsidies then. So that made me to think of starting a computer business because we are all in selling line. So I opened a multi-brand computer showroom. I named it Chip India in 1988, got it incorporated, made myself MD and chairman. And I spent whatever earning I got to give my office a grand look. You know, woolen carpet, flooring, fancy sofas, lighting and all. This office made people think I'm big. Word spread, and surprisingly, team from IIT, BITS, ISC, IM Professional, they all joined with Chip India to do projects in Chip India name. The name truly became famous. Surprisingly, collaboration offers from global companies started coming. National Instrument and this Micro Explorer card manufacturing company. All right. So many companies started giving us, you know, representation right. So multiple projects began. I registered a company named AI Technologies Limited in 1988. Started a franchise network to promote the Department of Electronics O-level course. And in 2 months, my franchise network grew into opening 8 centers. After that, seeing my name, some people approached me and ended up me having an editor and publisher, and we started a newspaper called Leader and Contributor. Ultimately, the calling was leadership. Now, friends, as you are hearing this, it will appear that I was super successful, isn't it? Yeah. But was that me? remember, I was not married then. I was probably 25 or 24. But what appeared like I was super successful and that was going on as a talk around, that was not me, not at all. I was simply projecting what I was not. It was a mask. As a result, I suffered from regular bout of severe migraine then. The real me was a simple soul seeking love and acceptance. And my chasing recognition was just my mask. So now life had to change because I realized that I'm not comfortable with this mask. I was restless. So to bring some solace and stability in my life, I started joining self-development courses. Various. I did MILT and Landmark and so many others. Now, these learning led me to realize the actual factor behind why we are as we are now and what can lead us to our lasting success. Varied life experience developed in me now compassion for people, empathy for people. I know the pain that I was going through. So anytime I see a person, the empathy would take over. And that was, some people would say, my vulnerability. I would just naturally rush to help anyone in distress. If somebody is in business loss and I would rush to resolve disputes. Now, all these things gave me practical experience. And I ended up designing and delivering workshops on self-development topics. And the first one was in 1992, Young Leader course. This led me international acclaim. I started getting offers from Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and I did go there, Sri Lanka. And based on that, I ended up doing programs for the parents and ended up doing for the school heads and teachers. So programs for school, college, teachers, principal, corporate executives, lawyers, CEOs, police department, all started coming. But all that apart, that is what we began, motivational training. That was motivational training. Now comes a twist, a beautiful twist, which replaces that methodology into a different lifestyle. That began when I learned health without medicine. Surprisingly, in 2006, till then I was going ahead with the typical motivational concept. But now we are talking about something different. This health without medicine in 2016 was a chance encounter I had with a doctor in my neighborhood, which while introduction, you mentioned also. He was MBBS, MD, and PhD, yet he denounced medical practice altogether. He and his brother, they were world renowned as Dr. Brothers. For some reason, he enrolled me to learn from him. He started giving his secrets. And he started giving his secrets. And this led to, me overcoming, all my fear of illness. He explained to me in this daily learning how the role of mind and the factor behind the mind is causing bodily ailments. This learning changed my approach. Fear of illness disappeared. Yeah, and this radically changed my life. This led me to writing my learning as a book on zero medicine wisdom. And imparting this wisdom has become my mission. Today, friends, at 62 plus age, as I reflect on insight gained from life experience, I realize something powerful. We have been conditioned to believe that life is about achieving, becoming, and owning. But is that the truth? Life is not about just achievement. It is about expanding and evolving our consciousness and embracing the wonder of every moment. We need to break free from the emotional bondage. Now, what I learned regarding illness is where this leadership talk comes together. What holds us from our success and also leads us to illness are negative emotions of worry, fear, anger, sorrow, and stress, triggered by the thoughts of scarcity, rivalry, and despair. Scarcity is a mindset. Rivalry, as you know, when somebody is going to make you have parents and all, achieve, become, own, that creates constant rivalry. This leads to obviously a stressful living. And now the question is that really true? Is life for achieving, becoming, owning? So where does this originate from? How come these desire for achievement, creating negative thoughts come from? We have been conditioned from our upbringing and the environment. Everybody around us, when a father gets a child, first thing he puts him in school where there is competition. The environment is all the time this exam, that exam. So the human in that trap is never knowing what his actual need. So in the process, we are trapped and we continue that journey and only in the end suffer from that stress and get into despair and depression. So now come to the main question. How do we free ourselves from despair, depression, and disease? Today, it's been almost 2 decades. I have not taken medicine. I did go through various ailments, but that I have learned that these are just symptoms. I am very sure that I will never suffer from disease because I know the role of symptoms learned from this renowned doctor. He not only explained the falsehood of medicine, he also explained the cause of the illness, which is, all the emotions. Now, what I noticed is this learning and leadership learning goes hand in hand. That which gives us power of leadership also gives power to never fall ill. So if you want to filter whether we are leading a life of actual satisfaction or actual success, then the proof is that you will never be under stress. And the power of leadership will give you the energy. And when the energy is there, how will you ever get sickness? Your what do you say? Your ability to immunity is too strong in a leader. Okay, if you have a purpose, your immunity is very strong. You will know when to eat, when not to eat, when to rest. So now we come to our the way we conduct programs. So far, we have been talking about motivation versus inspiration. See, the thing that you have invited me is called Leadership Lecture by Saify Saraiya. And what we do in a lecture, we try to motivate. But through lecture can we motivate? It's only a temporary thing. Nobody ever, so many books are there, so many YouTube videos are there. Does that change us? It may just have a temporary effect. But the actual change can only happen from within. Now, if you were to go through all the prophets, or whether it is Buddha, you will notice that they were not motivated, they got inspired. They were dejected, and that dejection led them to inspiration. So in order to actually succeed in our leadership objective globally, what we need to do is shift from motivational approach to creating a process where people get inspired, where it is not a psychic talk, it is a process. We create a process. So in Chennai, my friends, we have so many wonderful processes going on. Some are called a lab, some are called transaction analysis, some are called, we have a facilitators association, where facilitation is never lecture based. A process is done and we end up gathering a summary and everybody evolves. So what I've learned is motivation is external and it at times misleads us from what we need, because you are being motivated by somebody. But you can use the word self-motivation, but that actually I mean inspiration. So sometimes words create confusion. He's self-motivated means he's inspired. So what we need to now do is, in all leadership academy, bring in what is the process that can make each one inspired. So I have come up with one idea called honeycomb facilitation. I can call it honeycomb bonding also. So when time will come, I will unfold that methodology for us, where the talk is less, but understanding is more. So now when I say talk is less, what happens when we listen to talks? Talks are just thoughts. Words convert into thoughts. We nowadays think, in words. Can you think without words? It's not possible. So, but a child understands. So what the power that can make us understand, that has been lost and we have started thinking. So I use the Hindi word. The difference is सोच versus समझ. सोच से कुछ नहीं होता, सोचते ही रह जाओगे. Overthinking. And you will get into stress. But समझ, understanding. Understanding comes from ehsas. Ehsas is a totally different phenomenon. In ehsas, you are not bombarded with words. It is a feeling that you get inspired with. Now, what can bring in that feeling? That is a process we need to work together on. Today, thanks to Dr. Das choosing me, I am going by the format which you have made, lecture by Saify Saraiya. But if you were to talk to my facility group, said, how can Saify give a lecture? We don't give lectures. We need to replace that lecture base with understanding based methodology. So why thoughts are not good? Thoughts lead to complexity, whereas ehsas and understanding guides us to simplicity. Now my question is, so much of data in knowing, quantum of information, and data is fed in, even in leadership, everybody says the same thing with different jargon. And it sounds as if some new topic. Every religion is saying the same thing, but different language and different jargon. Gayatri mantra, when you see the meaning, it is the same meaning that is given in the first surah of Quran. But who is trying to understand? Everybody is doing japa and mantra. Mantra is not the mantra to be, do japa. Mantra is a program that has to be felt and understood. This is what we have to incorporate in our leadership academy. Then there will be beautiful integration. So quantum of information and data fed into us is knowing? No. The insight mind gains by what we feel and experience, that is knowing. More and more information becomes mental chaos, clutter, whereas pondering and insight brings simple understanding and clarity. So my dear friends, who are we? Why are we caught up in this emotional trap and this psychic motivation and all that? Because we are thinking ourselves separate from each other. So we are using words and thoughts to talk. But suppose, and where does this each other comes? We have been conditioned to think in the form of I, me, and mine. the summary of Bhagavad Gita, Mera Tera Apna Paraya Man Se Hata Do, that is not understood actually. So if you remove the ego of I, me, mine, the identity, as a child when we were born, we were treated as a blessing. But the moment we were born, the parents gave us a name and started calling my son. But actually it was a divine creation. Parents could have been in wonderment of the divine creation, but they started owning it and they started, you have to achieve this, you have to become this. The child was made sick right the day he was given identity. The moment you are given identity, already you are in a trauma of sickness. So identity of ego, I, me, and my fragments us from the universal source. Realizing ourselves as the energy, the entity of the universal source integrates us. I repeat, the identity of ego, I, me, my, is fragmenting, disintegrating us from each other. But if we feel ourselves in each other and enjoy our experience together, we will feel ourselves as energy and it will be a picnic together. We will be now the energy of the universal source experiencing life together. So now I wish to tell you something very interesting. I have made a table. This table is worth going through. It's harmony of body, mind, and soul. See, when it comes to identity, we start thinking that I am the body. And who is thinking? The mind. But where is the soul? So far, we have never felt the soul. Shall we understand this today? We can have a dialogue. I'll be more happy because from now on, in just today's session, something majorly expanding I am explaining. There is a connection of body. Where is the body coming from? If you notice, body is nothing but coming from the past. What is this body now? It is just the past. Next moment it is growing, again it is becoming past, isn't it? And where is the mind? As you are thinking and listening and paying attention, there is the mind. Now comes the catch. So far, we never ever operated from future. Actually, we should all be operating from the future, but somehow we have misunderstood the concept of future. Suppose if I were to tell you, begin your life with the destiny in mind. Okay? Begin your life with the destiny. Today, if you are going to a place, you will switch on your GPS and then you will end up putting the start and destination, isn't it? So without writing the destination, can you start? The GPS will not work. The direction wants to. So till today, what has happened? We are living a life without knowing our destination. So I have designed a program. It is full of all Hindi songs to explain the destination. Now, for some people, it sounds, why are you talking about destination? Finally, we are all going to die. Are you sure? Are you sure? We are sleeping every day. Are you going to worry about sleeping? When we wake up, we are happy. But can you do anything that can stop you from sleeping? Isn't sleep death? So now we will separate that. In order to function our present, we have to operate from the destiny, future in mind. All right, not future limited to material, which we know is not making sense. Every material that we see, our body is past. Anything that you see, any land, trees, whatever you own, all that is past. Because everything is going to change. We call this, this too shall pass. So now we come to, as we are discussing this, what is most important for us is our health. So friends, I want to tell you very frankly, whoever comes to me to learn about healing wisdom, where does it start? It starts with breath. I make them go through understanding the origin of their breath. And so that means mind is the cause of all, mind is causing problem in the body. So mind is causing ill health. Now, all you have to do is become mindful and know why your mind is upset. It is upset with thoughts and emotion. But suppose if I make you feel your breath, then your emotions don't come. Suddenly you become mindful, and then the healing begins. So this is uniform. You will be shocked to hear that we don't believe in disease. All disease for us is nothing but loss of ease in the mind. Mind is manifesting the body. So, and that is a beautiful thing when we will understand someday when we actually work on this. Now we come to what we seek in our body. We seek purity. If you eat food, you want to clear it off. Without bowels movement, you will not feel comfortable. Without taking bath, you will not be comfortable. So mental purity, physical purity, all means the same. And where does the mind operate from? Humility. It submits itself. And where does it submit to? The divinity. Now, divinity is there within you. We are talking about prana pratishtha in statue. When will we talk about prana pratishtha in ourselves? That's what we need to awaken. And from there, we start feeling the breath. When I feel the breath, I feel the divine in the breath. So now we will just have a small Kabir Doha as an example. Some people will say, no, Saify, all this is very spiritual thing. We have to go very deep. Nothing like that. The truth can come in a moment. And that's what Kabir says. Kabir says in his Doha, मुंह को कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में, ना मंदिर में, ना मस्जिद में, ना काबे कैलाश में, ना में तप में, ना में जप में, ना योग संन्यास में, ना मैं क्रिया कर्म में रहता, ना एकांत निवास में. Now comes the final line. खोजी होए तुरंत मिल जाऊं एक पल की तलाश में. Now the final line is कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधु, मैं हूं सांसों की सांस में. So if you have to feel the divinity in the breath, that's where the change comes. As long as you are functioning from your thoughts as an identity, you are getting more into disease. The day you realize that you are a divine energy functioning by the divine will, and that breath is functioning you, the healing starts. No impurity can remain in your body. No cancer can remain in your body. Now it sounds very radical, but only time and opportunity will tell you how it works, how uniformly it works. So our website earlier, we called it foolproofcure.net. This is foolproof. Other people will give this medicine alternate and so many things, but this is foolproof. So now same thing will continue in work. This is with regard to well-being. Work also must have a passion. Now this as you were hearing the story of this flower, the teacher who taught me about flowers, it was her passion about flowers that made me get attracted to flowers, and I returned back. So we need to work with passion that will create amazing abundance and growth around us. Anybody who is passionate around us, we will feel energized. So what about us? But now the question is, how can you be passionate? In order to have passion, there has to be a mission. You can play games, video games, but that won't last. That'll give you boredom in the end. But if you have a mission, then the passion is true. Where does the passion come from? It comes from your past. When you start reading about your past and script your life story, the passion in you develops. So we need to create a process where every student, every one of us suddenly identifies their passion. Even at the age of 70 or 80, if you can identify your passion, suddenly your diabetes and BP will go away. And my dear friends, I have proof of that right now. There is one person who was 50 days in ICU. He went through all kinds of chemotherapy and they said he cannot survive. And somehow this Zero Medicine book in his hand, he read it 5 times and his mind was convinced that this is not true and he withdrew from the hospital, much to the amusement of everyone. Today, this man has no diabetes. 25 years he was taking diabetes BP tablet and he was adjudged as a cancer patient. Today, he's free from cancer and zero diabetes, zero BP. And guess what? He's doing marathon. He's a man in Mumbai. And with his permission, I will connect you. Like that, there are too many cases. This is where the well-being brings in leadership. You cannot have leadership without well-being. Without your body being pure, without your nature being humble, you cannot, without you taking the energy from the divine, nothing works. So for passion, we have to have mission, and for mission, we have to have vision. There is one very old Amitabh Bachchan song. मंजिले अपनी जगह है, रास्ते अपनी जगह, पर कदम ही साथ ना दे तो मुसाफिर क्या करे. And the line goes that, यूं तो है हमदर्द भी और हम सफर भी है मेरा, बढ़ के कोई हाथ ना दे तो मुसाफिर क्या करे. So what I'm learning from this is that the process for leadership has to be different now. No more lecture based, no more motivation based, no more talk based, no more lecture based. It has to be process based. It has to be feeling based. It has to be like Buddha methodology. You sat in the meditative state and you found all the learning with all the prophets got, you got it too. See, when Krishna is giving talk to Arjuna, why didn't Arjuna ask, hey Krishna, why don't you tell me the secret of how you are giving answer? And Krishna would have certainly obliged. We can't be taking bit by bit, answers from people. We need the source to be within us, to inspire us. So now where does it come from? That comes from making our life a sadhana. We are no longer identity. We are no longer after material. We are functioning by the divine energy and definitely walking ahead towards the highest abundance. Then our own nature becomes that of becoming a sadhak. Now guess what? Already you are achieving great and you as a person are becoming sadhak. And what happens to your body then? Your body becomes sadhan. And can a divine body have impurity? So we call this Sharanagati, we call this namaz, we call this, but we have converted that into mantra and japa. Nobody has understood that they are actually submitting themselves on and off to the divine, drawing energy from divine. We are servant of the divine. And that is the leadership we are talking about. Not a leader motivated by somebody else's agenda. Oh, come on, Jawan, stand at ease, attention, गोली मारो. अबे पूछो तो किसको गोली मारना है? हमारे भाई को गोली मारना है. We are talking about bonding in leadership. We are not talking about bounding. Our growth is only in expanding our consciousness, and that is only possible if we start bonding with each other. All of you today, it is an opportunity for me to bond. Okay, so that gives us well-being. Now, friends, I have one situation for you. How to know what are we talking? Anything that you are learning, no, you can always put that in 3 questions. What is this fellow talking? Even academic subject, what is this going on? And when you get that answer of what, you must then ask the question, so what? Because when you ask this question, what, so what must follow? And what's next? So same thing I mean here. Without knowing what is the destination, we must not even learn anything. See, if somebody is going to start talking to you, you will have to ask him, why are you telling this? If he answers that, then you can listen. So body, what we see is the result of our past, inspiring us in us passion. Body is the sadhan, seeking purity and well-being. This is default body's nature. Body is not comfortable if you do anything wrong. The body shows you pain, fever, that is a guidance for us. So I have learned from this doctor that all the symptoms that hope happen to you is guiding you. So it is not only guiding you to maintain your well-being, but it's also guiding you to maintain your passion, purity, health, and well-being. Everything comes there. And for that, the clarification of what is necessary. And now we come to the mind. Mind is, I used to coin this like our Jiddu Krishnamurti. Are you present to the present of the present? Present here means gift. Okay. So while we are listening to this conversation, are you present in this, or your thoughts are coming somewhere? Present is attendance. No, I am here. You are here for what? I am listening to the talk. What talk? Are you getting the insight from the talk? So there are 3 presence here. Once your presence, second, your attention to it, awareness, and third, you understand the insight in it. So this is the role of the mind, being mindful. Now, this way, the mind becomes sadhak, and it becomes ever humble, seeking wisdom. Unless the mind desires to seek wisdom, that mind is crooked mind. Cunning mind is not what we're talking about. Shallow mind, we are not talking about. We are talking about the divine mind. Now, where does the divine mind function from? It functions again from the soul. When you feel your breath with the divine in the mind, you remember what we just said. खोजी होए तुरंत मिल जाऊं एक पल की तलाश में कैद कबीर सुनो भाई साधु मैं हूं सांसों की सांस में. I am in the origin of your breath. You are being inspired for everything in the breath. So soul that is inspiring in you, your soul is seeking evolution. It wants you to get evolved. The soul in you is seeking evolution. It is not wanting you to be a caterpillar on the ground. It wants you to experience a life of a butterfly. You are not here to graze in the ground. We are here to graze in the sky. And where we are buying properties, accumulating wealth, not wealth, accumulating, and total absence of abundance. Friends कुछ भी नहीं है, पैसा बहुत है बैंक में, पार्टी वार्टी होता नहीं है. So is this life? So soul seeks evolution for the next moment. Okay, next moment में what shall I do to expand beyond my current horizon? So some of my program for doctors and professionals and police, and the title is Expand Beyond Your Current Horizon. Don't be stuck with your ego of your profession. Tell I am nobody and then become everybody. Actually, as long as you carry identity, you will feel yourself very insignificant. But day you realize you are the energy, suddenly you will find yourself significant. Everything is you and you are for everything. How everything is becoming abundance now. So I repeat, soul seeks evolution for the next moment to expand beyond current horizon. and forward towards a victorious vision. The soul wants you to get victorious. There it is. Jeetne ke liye aaye hain. Soul is in a state of sadhana. Sadhana is everyone's religion. We are doing devotion. Our life here is for showing devotion. And guess what? Who are we? We are devotees. So sadhana, and what happens to our body? Our body is sadhan of the devotee. And sadhan of a devotee is bound to be in good health, is bound to be in purity. Because soul is seeking, functioning as divinity, seeking your enrichment, and it wants to create abundance worldwide. Deepak Chopra, I heard him 40 years ago. He came up with one idea as a quantum physics. He said, our body is a conscious conscience of the universe. That means whatever is happening in the universe is happening to our body. So from that, I learned that each one of us is creating our own universe. We do not know what happens to our sleep. In sleep, we get wonderful dreams. And guess what? That could be the wonderful heaven in your complete death. So there is a lovely program which we can do for all of us, but I would prefer to do it in a physical format. That is on begin with the destination in mind. Lovely old songs, almost 14, 15 of them, and it can forever remove the misconception about what's next. So my friends, the final thought, is there anything to achieve, become our own? I wish we could have a dialogue on this. What, now tell me, we are meeting today, and today's meeting, what it is? Is it just going to be a talk and talk and talk and many more talks, or is today's meeting a decision of partnership, an encounter? And we are seeing this meeting itself as a gift. For me, meeting Das and Anupam Khan and Commander Jaitley is a gift. I would love to know you more. I would love to integrate with you more. As long as I live, I want to experience as many lives. That is called expanding consciousness. So today's meeting, according to me, is an encounter. This moment is a gift, thanks to the effort taken by this Leadership Academy. Now comes, okay, Saify, so what if this moment is a gift? Yes, let us bond and collaborate. This moment shouldn't be passed. Why we must bond and collaborate? Because we want to integrate and expand our consciousness. So what is answered now? Now comes, okay, Saify, what's next? What's next is the soul in each one of us wants to share the joy of abundance that exists in the next. It wants to evolve you further in life. Life continues. Nobody should ever imagine that there is something called death. If you are thinking that there is something called death, then you are treating sleep itself as end. When sleep is not the end and every day you wake up, similarly, death is not the end. Your leadership is beyond this world. And this world is to be in your muthi. And all of you wonderful, people are here to, expand beyond. So luckily, you have called it a Leadership Academy, and I'm delighted that it is happening in IIT Kharagpur. So let us learn now, finally, as we are concluding today's session, and maybe we'll have a question answer, that what we will do as we end our day, whatever dilemma thoughts we have, we will surrender it to the night. Whatever you experience in the day is, according to me, complex. It's lies. It's full of lies. Nothing, everything is it is an illusion. But you submit that illusion and dilemma and your delight to the night, you will get next day inspired with some new learning. So at this age, friends, I'm so delighted. My daughter says, Papa, I am reading your notes. I think it's time we keep writing every book 1 month. She feels a dozen book can be written because so many different, I mean, it's same thing, but beautiful, like flowers are same, but different design. That's the beauty of life. And this experiencing different variety is where the evolution lies. So we surrender our day to the night, and night is where the healing happens, evolution happens, and you wake up with upgrade the next day. Switch off your phone to get upgrade. Similarly, switch off your mind at night and wake up with upgrade. Now, when you wake up next day, what do? The next day, you wake up and decide to flow like a fountain. We decide to flow like a fountain. Now, this notes, which you are in, which is the last point, and then we stop for today's session. We live like a flowing fountain means these 8 steps. Replace your ego identity of me with we. I am no longer separate from each one of you. My friend Surya is eating something. I just finished eating. I know I enjoy eating. So we all are same. We get hungry. So we give parties to each other. We start sharing food. We want each other's company. It's all same. So replace ego identity of me with we, my. How can there be my? You come to my house, it is your house. My friend Juzer is here. He says, Saify bhai, ये क्या मेरा पैसा आपका पैसा क्या है? आप ही मेरे हो. He will tell. And it's wonderful. ये आप ही का घर है. True. You are not, you're going to survive. So we remove this misconception of I, me, and my. I am now replacing me with we, my with ours, to realize our true self. Now comes the second point. Our parents, our upbringing, our nation, our religion, all are trying to treat us as we have to go after power, position, and possession. We have to compete. That has to be replaced. And that is the dirt in our mind, the desire to chase after power, position. What will you do by chasing power, position? In the end, you will die like an, with nothing in your hand. So our goal is to seek the state of purity. And the third point, be at ease, align with the source, feel your breath, free flowing in harmony and blessing. Fourth point, no more controlling people. Understand them and let them and yourself be free. Ponder upon the universe. Express your vision as a pathfinder. We are all confused about universe, but that is where Buddham Saranam Gacchami comes. I am going to be in the search of Buddha, the enlightenment, be the pathfinder. Now seek vision. This can be applied in corporate also. Whatever you do, you have to have a vision. Now we help each other, cooperate, consult, collaborate, and contract as a path guide. That is where we want to introduce honeycomb bonding. Then honeycomb means 6 people should be your friends, you with 5 others. And then we will understand how that has to work. That can be explained when we work on this together. So 7 point, understand situation and accommodate as a path player. You are an individual, you too have to play a role. And finally, you have to get into action. And that's where famous Gandhiji's statement comes. Be the change you seek. And whatever mission and vision you're talking about, you be the driver. So this driving, playing, guiding, finding, all comes in under our honeycomb facilitation, honeycomb bonding, honeycomb integration, whatever you call it, honeycomb group learning. This can be applied in a very beautiful way. And from now on, we are always we. No longer I, me, my. I can go on. There are so many surprising learning in this. This all come from the best of scriptures. Nothing is from me, but thank goodness that it has been inspired in me. And the proof of that is I'm experiencing my well-being, and I'm no longer having any doubt that I'll ever be sick. So I invite all of you to be in this state, and I'm happy that I've got this opportunity to be with you all. So let us now stop and let me listen to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
Thank
one
you, sir.
request is,
So,
if you can talk to me and tell me what you have understood and expand further from your learning. I think the expert is already in you. So whatever I have shared, I think you should now expand, rather than, this is not a rocket science or technical subject, isn't it? So I'm now going to learn from you, because we teach best what we need most. So now it's my turn to need from you. What is your learning in this? So
over to Commander Jetli for conducting this, moderate this question answer session, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Anupam, and thank you, Saify Bhai. I tell you, my salute to you once again. You are really great. I'm impressed to learn your story. I can understand you are a Guju Bhai who must be equally comfortable in Bengali also and Tamil also by now. And you are actually a global citizen now, I believe. So that is what this world needs today, to bring harmony in this world. What you taught, what you told, what you experienced, and you shared with each one of us. And your life story is really very, very interesting. A person who was going to commit suicide and all that, and he has come to now enlighten so many people. I am really impressed with IT industry, with computers and all that. And now you are in this field. Great. And some of the things which you have told, no I, no me, let it be replaced with we. That's really great. And what is big thing in achieving, becoming and owning? Nothing. You should realize and have compassion, have empathy for the others, full of positivity, remove the negative thoughts from your mind, and your concept of soch and samaj, beautiful, and ahsas, I loved it. And what you said, that you have made some 14, 15 Bollywood songs to inspire people. That's really great. And let me tell you, that was my project going on in my mind for last so many years, but I have not been able to do it. And you have done it, so I would love to listen to that at the earliest. Really great. It was there in my mind. There are so many Bollywood songs which really are very good with the appropriate wordings, which could inspire the youth also, and you are already doing it. Really impressed. Now, gentlemen, the house is open for any questions from anybody. Instead of me asking, there are some hands, so I'll ask them to kindly come up with their questions. And who is there? Give me the full screen, Anupam.
Hello. Hear me?
Yeah. Anybody? Somebody raise the hand. I can see Deepak Maiti. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Deepak, yeah.
So thank you for conducting this kind of talk. Okay, so this is very enlightening talk actually today. So I'm very happy to listening this talk. So I have one question. So basically he mentioned body and mind and soul. So body and mind, I can see, I have a body, I have a mind. And also beside that, I know also I have an emotion and also energy. But soul, I guess maybe he's talking about the life. That means, our consciousness, whatever conscious life. So basically my perception is so far, I want to share also that thing beside this question. So basically the mind is very, very important tool for our life. But when mind is giving instruction, that is a, unconsciousness basically. But if we give instruction to the mind, then mind become a miracle, it can do the magic if we give the instruction. But other way, it's just a compulsive way we are following everything. So am I right?
Your question,
you're-
Deepak. Yeah. Okay. We have Parthoda with us. Parthoda, can we hear you
Yeah.
now?
Can you hear
Great,
me?
great. That's there. So I think now because Parthoda didn't get the chance to speak, so I'm passing on straight away to Parthoda. Please, Parthoda, please go ahead.
Thank
Your
you very
views.
much. Well,
And
firstly,
yeah.
I'd like to extend my deepest reverence and pranam to Mr. Saraiya. It was absolutely brilliant, starting from the streets of Calcutta to the global stage. What a beautiful journey. You know, I do not have any question. I have to do justice to the initial request that was made to me was to introduce the academy. In that spirit, I think what you spoke is what is our academy all about. And that's what I wanted to underscore. Our academy is to bring goodness to society. By leadership, we do not mean to become bosses, but to lift others. It means understanding yourself, know thyself. And it is about what I have a statement with egos outside and divine within. Possibilities are limitless. What was the essence of your talk? With divine within and egos out. Well, normally in our country and many places in the world, it is just the reverse. We have a lot of egos. We go to the temple to worship, but the God is within you. So that was a quick summary. The question I have that, in India, as you have quoted Gita many times and you quoted Mahatma Gandhi, sometimes we quote Vivekananda, sometimes we quote Tagore. In spite of such great thoughts and great ideas, how come the country as a whole is not being able to find that path that you talked about today? Where is the disconnect and what could we do? Because we see the academy to play that role. So we want to hear your thoughts.
The question is to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that is because everything is being taken intellectually. Like I told, we need to convert our methodology SAS based. So the moment a learning becomes understanding and it is no longer knowing, that person's personality becomes the actual one. Most of the time we speak flowery language, but that's not the floweriness. I'll give an example. In corporate, we use the word behavioral science. Okay. Say, for example, you must love. Now the question is, are we talking about loving behavior or loving soul? So behavioral science is a tactics. It is an adopted behavior. So that is why some people, they function impeccability in a corporate environment, but at home they come and they create nuisance in the family. Or for that matter, we are just, etiquette-based people. That's not the real character. So what we need to now learn is a process, a program that actually changes the heart of that person. And we have a very good advantage. Sorry to include myself in it. This zero medicine wisdom is a fantastic weapon. Now, if somebody is going to fear Parkinson or Alzheimer or paralytic stroke, I can warn him that your hand shaking is because of some guilt. Question your guilt, my dear friend. If you want to recover, no amount of medicine can help you. It can only suppress you, and finally you will miserably die in the hands of hospitals. We don't want things to grow in our body. All ailments are the mind manifesting in our body. So this is one area which cannot be, which can only be experienced. Somebody is healthy, that is his secret. That is why this can only reach out through honeycomb facilitation. It cannot be talked about openly because there are so many world of medical system which believes in material methodology. But behind material, there is divinity.
Okay. Yashpal has a question. Yashpal, please go ahead. Yashpal. Okay, you can't unmute. Malay has a question.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for this session. And it's a really it's an eye-opener kind of thing. And my question to Saify sir is that, like, if someone is having some illness, like say the blood pressure or maybe sugar or those kind of thing, then how to get out of medicine? Like, how to start the journey? Like, we cannot stop it suddenly, right? As I understand. So, what should be the journey to get rid of this?
Yeah. You know, for example, body is experiencing excess potential. There is sugar in the body. That means that sugar is not being utilized. The mind is not able to let it be free. So there is some stress in that person which is making him conserve the sugar. Many people mistake that in order to, you know, reduce my weight, I will stop eating. No. The more he stops eating, the more the body will start becoming fat. Because everything he converts, it starts conserving. So we have to understand the mind behavior. Mind wants you to be free. So if you start unleashing your potential and get into some kind of a passionate activity, suddenly you will get balance. So, for example, the earlier question which Partha Ghosh asked, that why is our nation, isn't it? That was your question. So I gave an answer from the divinity angle. So if there is a culture of honeycomb facilitation where 6 people learn and each one tells to the other 6 people. And you know, this program has been designed very simple. It is just simple 30 question and 6 mind map. I was telling Dr. Das when we met, say, I have a problem. The solution to all ailments and all dilemmas and despair is so simple that if I tell, nobody gets impacted. So why don't we make it a little technical and complicated? So sometimes we have to jargonize, and we can do it in a very fun way, at least as a, you know, or research or as a study organization of Leadership Academy. And let this go forward. Let all IITians, other 22 or 23, you are one, let all of them copy your model. Life is too short to hide any secret, no? Yeah. Originally, I called it my blueprint, but I realize I may die very soon. Why hide my blueprint? So I'm here to offer it.
Good.
Beautiful,
Okay, Sevanti Shekhar has a question. Sevanti, unmute.
Unmute.
Shekhar, can't hear you.
No.
Can't hear you. Okay, fine. Okay, now let me ask you a question then, Saify. You know, the world is having too many wars, and world is suffering from the threat of terrorism all the time from different places. How do we improve these guys?
Mm.
This always, you know, keeps bothering me.
Yeah. When I came to know about this zero medicine wisdom from Dr. Fazal, and I connected with leadership and transformation line, which it was not his area. He was healing people as a clinic man. And one hospital also closed down by this learning when they came to know mine as the role player. So I did meet a Cancer Institute also if they are willing to do documentation on this process, but none of them came forward. So we have a weapon. We tell the world leaders that here is a science. In order for your well-being, you better change your behavior. There was sorry to say, there was a politician who was okay, I will not name the organization. I have to maintain etiquette. He gave up his negative politics and became an actual social leader. And today he is a wonderful soul. So see, even in among all the nations, there are national leaders who are very profound in their nobility. I don't want to name now because after COVID, I got disappointed. I was a fan of two national leaders. I will not name them, but now we need to do, suppose we imagine we do program based on, reach out even to parliament on well-being, and we give this blueprint, they will start fearing their behavior. Because ultimately your deeds is functioning your body. It is there, all there.
Fine. Fine. Time is running out. I think I'll request Professor Manav Das to just give vote of thanks. Partho, you want to say anything?
Yes, let me summarize. I think there were a lot of
please.
Before Manav comes into play. Firstly, once again, on behalf of the IIT Kharagpur, Commander, Professor Das, Anupam, and everyone involved, it's a big movement. I think I'd like to invite you to join the movement. We are running a movement. We call it Honeycomb Movement. We'll take the Honeycomb Movement forward to create I would call supra honeycomb. That's point number one. And I will encourage Dr. Manav Das, who is chairing the academy, to organize that. Number two, what you have said, I want to underscore again and shared with us, is so much in line with what we are trying to do. That create a model of becoming good citizen based on divine within and egos outside. It's not easy. We want to define series of lectures, both for corporates, government, and definitely for students and faculty. These are days have gone where faculty is the guru and everyone is to listen. It is a networking, honeycomb. Networking between the professor and student. Student is as much a teacher as professor is. So that's the second message I took, that we have to learn from each other. We have to listen to ourselves and in the process create a positive dynamics for society. And given that's based on Vedic philosophy, could India take lead in creating a better world, better planet? And I think that process is there. And what, Saraiya, you have talked about today is music to my ears. And I think to all of us, we have to take it forward. No wonder you were born in Calcutta. Many of us were born in Calcutta. Calcutta gives us that juice, as perhaps Vivekananda and Tagore and Aurobindo benefited from, and you have benefited from. But we have to spread that. We have to spread it all over the world. Then I think we are doing justice to it. So with that, I think this lecture was definitely a step forward. Look within. And also what you're saying, which is so important, that medicine is within us. It is not the molecules that matter. It is the waves of our confidence and heart can take care of the blood pressure, the cholesterol, the sugar, depression, oppression, anger. And I personally believe in that. But we have to really make people believe. And I think someone raised the question, how do we make the transition? It's not going to be easy. And that's where the Academy of Leadership is so important, to help people make that transition. And that is not an easy transition, because the Western approach to medicine, I call the Cartesian approach, has ruled the world for the last 500 years. Now we need a new S-curve. And that's where, again, the role of the Academy of Leadership, role of IIT Kharagpur is extremely important. And on behalf of Commander, let me invite on behalf of Professor Das, behalf of IIT Kharagpur, to join this movement. And we will add a new term, honeycomb, as the, honeycomb has a tremendous meaning, because being a chemical engineer, I particularly appreciate the meaning of the word honeycomb, apart from the biological meaning of honeycomb. So with that, I'd like to really thank you and pass on to Professor Das to close the session. So thank you, Commander, for giving me this opportunity. And I didn't know what happened to my computer, so I could not say a few words about leadership. But you have talked about leadership academy. What you are doing is what academy believes in.
Well, thank you, Saify ji. It was really a wonderful talk. Really enjoyed, and I hope the participants, they also enjoyed your the talk and the new concept, as Partha said, the honeycomb, that model that you are talking about. And thank you, Commander Jetli. Thank you, Partha, for giving us some your thoughts also. And with this, though I had a very short meeting with Saify ji, but maybe as Partha is telling and Commander Jetli is here, so maybe we can forge a kind of a togetherness, as you said, instead of I, we kind of thing, my and our kind of things. So that can probably take this leadership academy, Partha academy of leadership to a greater height. So with these few words, yeah. So let me thank you all again from PGL. So good night to India and good morning again to the Westerners. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody,
Commander,
and
it was
thank
good
you,
to see you.
Thank you.
Partha Ghosh, for including me in your team. Thank you.
You are
Das,
invited
Dr.
with warm heart,
Bye-bye.
with open heart,
Yeah.
with open mind. We will welcome you. You are part of the team from now onwards.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward. All the best to us together.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let us create more honey.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaskar.